지금 가.
Talk to them weekdays 10 to 4, either on phone, internet, or in person. So just for the cattle and pigs. Elephant, or if you're old like me, the size of an old Volkswagen Beetle. But quite honestly, family, and there's not many of them left. Olives are actually considered invasive in our area. Anybody see the owl face in the tree? If you have a chance, if the building isn't, oh geez, they close the doors. A really pretty view through the education center here. You get to see the
아니야. 예쁜 다니. 예쁜 다니. 다니. 다니 뭐가?
안녕히 가세요.
네, 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 가세요.
아저씨가 한국말 갑자기 배워왔어.
저기 가고 일본인들 알고 가고.
건물 안에서도
빠이빠이.
잠깐만 아빠 스트롤로 가져올까?
아니야.
지금 가라고 할까?
I'm working. I'm on. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Well, thanks for coming today. Looks like we got some shade coming. There's a hedge maze if you want to try your skills. Some people get through in less than 5 minutes, and some people get lost. We have to rescue them, and that's okay. That's part of the fun. Beyond the squirrel, which is one of our 5 sculptures this year, there's a beautiful formal garden. We have 2 formal gardens on the property, the Centennial Garden or Grand Garden over there. It's only 3 years old. Still a very pretty space. And also the Fragrance Garden. We'll get a peek at that as we go to the other side of the property. What else? Oh, last thing, there's a plant clinic across from the visitor center. If you have issues with your plants, not sure what to plant, where to plant it, what that bug is or whatever, they have the answer. You can talk to them weekdays 10 to 4, either on phone, internet, or in person. So be prepared. Joy Morton founded the Arboretum in 1920. Here we won't see it from the tram here. Walk up this winding trail. In the United States, these are hills that go for 1.5 miles or 2 miles in length. They're a relic of the Ice Age when there was 1 mile of ice and snow. For you that speak Spanish, that's a caracol. For you that speak Korean, it's a Dalimi, I think. And I see it a couple more times as we pass through the Arboretum here. That's the snail sculpture.
Crab apples.
It's just beautiful. We have 7 man-made lakes on the property. You're looking at one of them. This one is called Crabapple Lake. They were between 1 and 10 acres in size, hunted on the property here. And they even graze their animals on these forest floor plants, which are actually very nutritious for the cattle and pigs. The Big Rock Visitor Station. What is this? Well, it's the trailhead for about a half-mile path that goes to a large chunk of granite that was deposited here during the Ice Age from northern Wisconsin. The path is really pretty. The rock is about 14 tons. It's huge, and it's the size of an elephant, or if you're old like me, the size of an old Volkswagen Beetle. But quite honestly, it's not that interesting. But this area is really, really pretty. Again, bring your bug spray and use it liberally. In the wintertime, if we have enough snow on the trails, they allow cross-country skiing. It's a really pretty place to do that. Not many people think of coming out here in winter. You say, well, why would I want to be outside? And there's football games and all that. But when the snow's on the ground here, it's really, really pretty and peaceful. This over here turns a pretty yellow color in the fall. It's the tulip tree. And if you were here about 3 weeks ago, it had tulips all over it. Now, they're light green. They hide under the leaves. They have bands of white and yellow and orange. But they're very, very pretty. Turns out the tulip tree is a relative of the magnolia. You'll see a sign for the olive family, and there's not many of them left. Olives are actually considered invasive in our area of the country. Pretty sunflowers off to my right side, left side here. This is the east branch of the DuPage River. Used to be the drainage ditch for all the farmers on both sides of the hills here. Father used to collect heirloom trees, including heirloom apples, some of which still are in bloom. I'm going to let these folks around us here. So Mr. Morton, he had cows and pigs and chickens grazing up and down the land here, this hill. And he loved it. He had 3 big red barns behind his 3-story mansion that was at the top of the hill. Even the old farmer's house, actually, are at Thornhill Educational Center, built in 1942, as the original house was starting to collapse. This is the hub of our education for many, many decades, until nowadays it's more a meeting place for weddings and other special events. It's named after these trees that grew on the farms pretty freely throughout this area. You'll see 2 of them to the left here. Look at the spines all the way up and down the trees. And they make a little apple called a haw, the hawthorn. Native Americans and early settlers used those needles. They're very sturdy to make, to knit and to sew and to divide. And you'll see the entrance to our fragrance garden. There's little water features, and all the plants have a nice smell and some component of them. People have their ceremonies, their wedding ceremonies in there. The Joy Path. It's a really pretty path designed by Mr. Simmons for Mr. Morton. It goes down to the bottom of the hill. We'll see that in a moment. Really pretty plantings just beyond the building here, and really old trees as you go down the path. It takes about 20 minutes up or down. This is Mr. Morton's, this building here is the original office and library of Mr. Morton. Nowadays it's more of a catering space, but that's where Mr. Morton did a lot of his work and research. If you have a chance, if the building isn't, oh geez, they closed the doors. A really pretty view through the education center here. You get to see the hill that we were on, the moraine we were on just a few minutes ago. Mr. Morton's daughter Jean actually hired a lady named Mae Watts to educate teachers around here about nature and photography and art. One of the artifacts, anybody see the owl face in the tree? A relative of those birch trees is the hazelnut or filbert tree, these medium-sized trees to our right side. They make Nutella out of the nut of that. These are weeping birches on both sides. We developed those here on the property. And the last collection I'll talk about is our nut trees. If you look over to the right side, you'll see a couple pecan trees, and you'll see little groups of nuts that are forming on the tree. Looks like grapes from a distance. Believe it or not, we can grow pecans up here. The big tree over to the right there is very common in our forest, the black walnut.
뭐예요?
이거 보리자. 보리자.
치즈. 치즈 찍어주세요, 엄마. 치즈. 하나, 둘, 셋. 치즈.